Well, it is 3 o'clock, so we're going to call the meeting to order and welcome to the January Pre-Planning Commission meeting. Let's see, no continuances. We have two pieces of miscellaneous business. The first is the election of officers. And any questions, comments about that for anybody? Okay, and thank you, Gabrielle, for clearing up for both Dorothy and I that we are both eligible to re-up. So that is great news. Let's see. So the second one just got added yesterday, and this is, I'm going to read it from the revised agenda. This is consideration of a recommendation letter to the Mayor and Board of Aldermen regarding the city's organizational structure. So my assumption is, can you talk us through, when I call this, will I just be handing this over to Commissioner Beatty, who is the one who is introducing it, Gabrielle?
Yeah, I think that is fair. If this is an item kind of the commission's what I'm looking for, initiation, I guess is the word. Ron, I think that if you want to speak to that first, provide the basis for it to the commission, and then I would open it up for discussion, as you normally do. I talked with Scott Waxter briefly in terms of whether you have to take public comment or you should take public comment. I believe he said that you do not have to take public comment, much like on the elections, right? We don't take public comment on those sorts of board action. But if the commission were interested in taking public comment, there would be nothing that would preclude that.
Good.
And then a motion and a vote.
If people show up to talk about it, we can have public comment.
Okay, and I'm feeling the same, Ron. If someone from the public would like to comment on the letter, I think we'd like to hear it.
With only one other agenda item, it should hopefully be pretty obvious, if there are folks there to speak on more general matters. So yeah.
Okay.
You don't think there are a lot of people showing up for CarMax?
They have a whole team. I know.
I know.
Yeah, they've got their own.
Anything else on the letter? Because we're certainly not going to talk about it now, but any other process questions or?
Gabrielle, I do have a process question for Gabrielle. So like in the history of like the Planning Commission, has a single commissioner ever written a letter of recommendation to the mayor without the other four commissioners?
So not on behalf of the commission. There would be nothing. I mean, you all are volunteers, but you are all individual citizens and voters in the city of Frederick. So there would be nothing that would preclude you from sending the mayor a letter or the board and saying, look, I Dorothy Nallis, feel this way about this thing. You couldn't speak on behalf of the commission. That wouldn't be appropriate, but there's obviously nothing that would preclude any of you as voters. You don't give up that right that you have as citizens being on the commission. So just not on behalf of the board, on the commission.
Gotcha. And then my other question is, if the letter generates more questions that clearly Ron wouldn't be able to answer because he's not city staff, could we request additional information from staff in order to better understand the implications of the letter?
Absolutely. I think as part of your discussion, that we are we're there to assist you in whatever way you need. Both myself, Scott Waxter, in terms of if there are any procedural questions. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
So, well, no, I was just going to say, Dorothy, it's so good to see you. And I have to say this. I know we're in the middle of a meeting, but you look marvelous. So for whatever, all the reasons, but I just keep looking and think you look so good. So it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
I second that.
Okay. So that takes us to our one new business item, and CarMax. And this is Sherry's item, correct? And Sherry's on.
Yeah, that's correct. So not a whole lot to add. The applicant, well, at the workshop, it was discussed that whether low-growing plants could be added to the parking islands that are underneath the Potomac Edison easement, and they did go back and add shrubs to those areas. So you'll see that on the plan. For, I think there was an additional modification, so I think that brought it up to 3. So the one is for the dumpster enclosure, the other ones for the buffer for the fence, and then the interior landscaping requirements.
So Sherry, weren't all 3 discussed in the workshop? You said there was another modification.
Well, the dumpster one wasn't, and let's see, the other one was we discussed the slatted fence, but I can't remember. I'd have to go back and look to see if they had if that was part of the modification. In the workshop summary, I don't have it. The only one I have listed is the interior parking lot standards.
I do remember.
We discussed the dumpster.
We did. And I have to go back and look at my notes. And I thought they didn't want to put landscaping on any of the sides. But again, I have to go back and look at my notes. So thanks.
Yeah, they are with they revised it so that they are going to add landscaping to the 2 sides, just not the 3rd side that faces the vehicle storage area. Let's see, anything else? The stormwater has been approved. The stormwater development plan that has been approved, and the APFO exemptions were approved. They were just approved earlier this week, so they're good to go. And I believe that is it for any updates.
Any questions from anyone? Okay.
Oh, and just to clarify, that it wasn't an exemption that was approved for the APFO. It was determined that additional testing wasn't required because they had a previous APO that was issued, and so a general exemption was approved for that because they didn't need any additional testing.
And it looks like all the conditions of approval are recordation note kind of things.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Well, that is the agenda. I don't have any further questions. Anybody else have any further comments or anything relative to our Monday hearing?
Nope.
All right. Well,
just thinking
yes.
ahead to workshop is on Tuesday, the 16th. Just a reminder, because Monday is the holiday.
Yep.
Right.
Plan.
Okay.
Attendance, just so you guys know, Nick, that Tuesday.
I will not either. I'll watch virtually. But I'm going to be I think I'm going to be in Idaho.
Okay. So on the 16th, Ron, you're going to be gone. And Dorothy, did you say that you're not going to be there?
I will not be in attendance.
At the workshop. Okay. All right. Okay. So we'll need a quorum, and we have 4 other commissioners. So, yeah. Okay. So we'll see you all on Monday.
All right.
Happy weekend.
You too, girl. Goodbye.
Bye.